In the 1970s, Sonia Olivo worked at a chemical lab in Guatemala City. She fought for a contract that introduced childcare into the workplace. After the company failed to comply, she simply brought her son to work with her. Obviously upset, her employer threatened to call a labor inspector, to which she replied, "Great." Though these victories may not always bring about change quickly, they are important in promoting equal pay, opportunity, and promotion.
No, she went to college though.
She worked ever since I was born, and she still is a flight attendant today.
She was a fitness instructor at a local community college.
My parents own a bathtub refinishing company. My dad, he works as a clinical psychologist.
He developed software.
He worked as a construction superintendent for various companies.
He actually worked at the same college, but he was an athletic director and a basketball coach.
My mom was my primary caretaker, I would say.
Yes.
Was it your mom?
Uh-huh.
So I grew up also having a nanny because both my parents worked. So I would probably say she was my primary caregiver.
Yes, my mom.
Yes.
I do. Yes.
Yes. I hope so. If it all works out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I plan to be married.
I do.
Someday.
For the period of time in which my children needed to be cared for, I'd probably stay home with them.
Well, hopefully I'll stay home.
Yes, hopefully I would love to be able to stay home with my kids and not work.
I will stay home with my children for the first year of them being alive.
I think that is a responsibility. Like, our children would be a responsibility between my spouse and I.
No, I'll probably be at work. I'll probably be want to be working to bring in money. But
No, I'll probably be working.
No, I'll be working.
Mill girls in the U.S. and Britain protested poor working conditions and inadequate pay by refusing to work. This paved the way for women in China and India to do the same in the 1920s. As a result, trade unions earned the right to bargain for wages and hours, and women laborers benefited. In the early 1900s, the White List was created. This consisted of companies that treated women workers fairly, and people everywhere were encouraged to buy their products and services.
I do.
I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think that men and women should be paid equally if they are applying for the same job.
yeah, I think they should be paid the same.
No.
And why not?
Because usually men are more able and willing to do the job, and they are usually better prepared and usually have more education.
Absolutely.
I do think it is very prevalent.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I definitely do. It seems that a lot of like harassment lawsuits and stuff come out of the workplace still, which obviously deals with gender.
I think I would gauge it completely on skill. If they were equally skilled, they'd be equally likely to be promoted.
If I were a CEO, I'd probably be less inclined to promote a female because there's always that chance that she's going to have kids and would leave. I think it would just depend on what their role was going to be because men and women have very different strengths. And so depending on the, like what was needed for the job, that would play into it.
I feel like that would depend on the experience and like the overall qualifications of the individual.
Well, it would depend on their qualifications mostly.
They were the exact same.
Then I guess it wouldn't matter really which one
You have to
pick.
choose.
I don't know. A dude, sure.
I think it kind of depends because for some jobs, I mean, women, just like the way their brains are built and things, are significantly better at like interpersonal relations and things like that. So for some particular jobs, females have distinct advantages So like for jobs involving interpersonal skills, maybe human resources, marketing, those things, they excel at greater than men do, whereas other things men's brains are slightly more designed for.
Well, if I was actually doing it, you would have to do it all based on qualification, or else you as a person would get screwed over.
Let's say they had the same qualifications. Who would you pick?
I'd probably be more inclined to pick a dude.
And why?
Just it seems like overall men are like in upper level division more than women are.
Male.
And why?
I feel the role of a female is to be at home, to stay with their children and to take care of their children, and to take care of household duties.
Despite equal rights laws, women remain at an economic disadvantage after bearing children. A study done in the United States found that a working woman's earnings declined by $3,000 in the first year after child and even more in the following years. Mothers often re-enter into the workforce at a lower paying job, and some cannot find jobs at all. Divorced and widowed women often rely on welfare payments from the state. Motherhood continues to contribute to the pay gap between women and men. Additionally, women carry the double burden of parental labor, which proves exhausting and eliminates most opportunities for leisure.
For leisure time, she really enjoys gardening.
She would probably bake or garden.
And my mom likes gardening.
Often my mom would work out. She also really enjoyed doing crafts. He really enjoys golfing. He likes reading. He enjoys watching TV. And he really likes basketball and like watching sports.
His leisure time, he likes to play chess online. and
he really liked to read, so he would read a lot, or he also likes to shoot guns.
In 1989, Ann Hopkins, an employee at the accounting firm Price Waterhouse, sued her employer after she felt she had been discriminated against. She received outstanding performance evaluations and brought in the most business for her home office. Despite her success, her work review stated that she could use a course in charm school and she was too macho. It continued to say that she should walk more femininely, talk more femininely, dress more femininely, wear makeup, have her hair styled, and wear jewelry. She won in the U.S. Supreme Court and after 8 years received partnership with back pay and a guarantee of no retaliation.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that anyone who's struggling to make it could probably benefit from welfare.
I do, because I have come from a family that's on welfare, and if my family didn't have that, then it'd be really bad because I wouldn't have any medical or anything.
Not exclusively. No. I think that there is another side of it that just isn't seen, that there aren't negative effects seen in the welfare system. But I think that men, if they had their act together, it would do a lot better for women, and women wouldn't have to be on welfare as much.
I don't think so. I think the fact that it's primarily women, at least from my knowledge about welfare, is simply because there's more single mothers.
I feel like if you qualify for welfare, you qualify for welfare.
I don't really have any strong opinions on that, but I think it's okay. I think that a lot of times it's very necessary for women to receive welfare.
I think welfare isn't really an issue as far as like gender. It's more of like who truly needs it, and if there are more women that need it, and then give it to them.
Working women on welfare. Well, they should probably be taking care of their children.